Okay, making sausage bread. This is the sausage. I'm frying it up. My best preference is hot Italian sausage. You can use Jimmy Dean hot Italian sausage also. That works great. I think one of the keys to making this fantastic is you need to cook the crap out of the sausage. Don't just stop cooking it because it's not pink anymore. Cook it till you keep getting all those brown bits on the bottom. And then until all you have left is brown bits. That's when this will be done. Okay, it's cooking more, lots of more brown bits. If you can see the difference, I'm not sure with the lighting. It is definitely more brown. Lot more brown bits. Just keep cooking. Be patient. I would say this is one of the keys. Doesn't matter if your family's begging, you tell them no. Okay, hot Italian sausage. I did 2 packages. I believe they were 16 ounces a package, a pound a piece. I'm doubling up today because company's coming. So instead of 4 loaves, instead of 2 loaves, I'm making 4. And before I forget, you don't have to put a whole lot when you're getting hot Italian sausage. But I do a lot of garlic. Today I actually used that minced garlic right there. A little bit of the chopped onion. A little tiny bit of the truffle parmesan black garlic, and a little bit of oregano. Sometimes I don't add anything but just garlic, fresh garlic, or even that minced garlic. You really don't need a whole lot. Sometimes I add a ton of pepper and make it even spicier, but it's super spicy now, so you don't need to. It's all what you like. Put in it what you like. Okay, I could stop browning at this point, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do a little bit more. Look how brown. It's almost not burnt. Those are brown bits of deliciousness. Okay, it's ready. This is what I'm talking about. Can you see that there are just nice crispy pieces? As many crispy pieces or more crispy pieces than not. How about that? I think that's probably good enough. So I am going to take it out of that, and I am going to put it on a shit ton of paper towels to get as much of the grease out of it, because this is important. If there's too much grease in the sausage, then too much grease gets into the dough. So that's why you're getting all the grease out. All right. That was funny. That was Dad and Vince. Cast iron, baby. That helps also. Don't forget all the delicious bits at the bottom of the pan. Scrape as much up as you can and put it in there. That's flavor. Okay, pizza dough. Italian pizza dough made from scratch. I get mine from Publix. Today I am making 4, which is very unusual. I normally make 2. Take them out and let them sit on the counter in the wrapper for probably at least 15 minutes. You don't want it too cold, you don't want it too room temperature. It's hard to work with them. You can buy the pre-rolled ones. They're almost as good as rolling these out. I've definitely used them. They're fine if you don't want to try this. Cheers! Okay, I just changed the paper towels for what the sausage is in so that it's not drowned with, the grease. These are the paper towels I just took from underneath it. There's 2 there, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 heavy-duty paper towels, soaking up as much grease as I can so that that grease doesn't go into the dough and change the consistency of the dough. So whether it's too much grease coming out of your meats, your protein, your sausage, or if you add something that you love that has just too much water in it, like tomato or bell pepper, if you added anything like ingredients that have liquid in them, be very careful because that messes with the dough. I don't know why I'm showing you that whole time when I could be showing you that. Look at that. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. I put some flour down, so when I get started on the dough, there's going to be a little bit of flour there. It does not matter what type of flour you use. I normally don't use this type of flour. I ran out of my other all-purpose flour, and I don't know what the difference is. The other one was not red, this one's red. I don't think it makes a difference with this because it's just keeping the dough from sticking too much to the countertop. Okay, oven is preheating to 375, and I have my stone in the oven getting hot in there. I spread out my flour just a bit, and I'm gonna start rolling out the dough. Okay, taking it out of the bag. It's sticky. So I'm gonna put it in the dough.
The shallow shepherd Tinsley, she is a miracle dog. She saved her owner and another man who were involved
just enough
in an automobile crash.
to where you can work with it. There's air bubbles. Air bubbles. So that's why I'm pressing from the middle and going out. You do not need to get rid of all the air bubbles. I think actually you're not supposed to get rid of all the air bubbles, but you definitely don't want too many. Okay, so now I could kind of work with it, and once I press it out wider, it'll get a little bit stickier to the counter, which is what I want. Otherwise, as I'm trying to roll it out, it won't stay rolled out, and you'll see what I mean here. So I'll start from the middle and go out. When she read his words to his mom all those years ago, she felt like he had come back to her, which is just a beautiful story. There's no perfection here. I try to make it kind of oval round, so that when I'm rolling it, it's like a long, started from a long oval. Okay, that side is stickier on the bottom. So you take the stickier side and then start pressing down. And you're kind of trying to make it stick to the countertop a little bit so that it will stay as you press it. Otherwise, it'll just shrink and it'll be very hard to make a larger one. And that'll just mean the bread will be thicker in between, but it's kind of like, nice to have a happy medium there. Something like this is actually good because as we roll it, you're going to see it kind of stretches a little bit. So that's probably 6 or 7 inches by 9 or 10 inches, something like that. Okay, I've got my dough in the approximate size and bigness that I want. I've got my sausage over on the other counter, but to that I'm doing the mozzarella cheese and the Parmesan Reggiano with that as well. And then on my Stromboli, I am going to use just sliced turkey breast, Italian dry salami, and some provolone probably. Nope, baby Swiss. So pretty much use what you like. Don't go by a recipe and use what I'm telling you to use. Whatever stuff you like, you use. Just always be aware if there's too much moisture in it. All right, I'm gonna take half of the sausage and I'm gonna put it on one. This is so crunchy. If you could feel this, this is actually crunchy. It almost feels like crunchy bacon. That's how crispy this is. Okay, so I put it all in the middle. And then press it down into the dough. And as you do that, it's gonna go down into the dough. It's gonna make the dough a little bit bigger and it's gonna spread. You don't really need it or want it at the very edges and tips, or it's just going to fall out when you roll it. So start in the middle and go from there. Okay. See how I'm just working it out? And then pressing it down. Okay, so this is my sausage bread, and today I'm gonna put a little bit of the crumbled bacon. Not a lot, and for no reason other than things just seem a little bit better with bacon. Much fat in that. I'm gonna leave that one off. Okay, now you're gonna take your mozzarella. And again, always gonna put everything in the middle and then work its way out. Just pile high in the middle and work your way out. I'm just separating it so it's not stuck together. And now let's see how much I have. I'm gonna slowly spread it out. Does it cover everything nicely in the fashion that I am looking for? Yes, I believe it does. Once I press down and push it out. Okay. Now I'm going to do a little Parmesan Reggiano. Be very careful of everything that you add and what has salt. So I don't add any salt. Normally I don't add any salt to the sausage or anything that I don't have to, because all the cheeses have salt. I'm sure the sausage has plenty of salt. And before you know it, it'll be too salty. So like all your seasonings, you should have no salt in the seasonings. Okay, and that is it for that. So now we're gonna press it down and push out, keeping everything in. Okay. Now this is the fun part. Okay, now this is the part, the rolling. Watch very carefully. It's really not hard, but it could be hard. So I've got all 10 fingers working together simultaneously with a goal. Okay. See, I've got the corners, everything's lifted. Now, like this, I'm not just going to roll, but I'm going to roll and pull just a tiny bit. Push all that down, okay? And again, keep those sides going. You really can hold to the sides. I want to pull back and roll. Very carefully. If your dough is too thin, it's gonna break. If it's thicker, it's easier. Okay, I'm gonna get my sides going there. And again, I'm gonna pull back and roll. Back and roll. Keep going till you get to the end. Back and roll. Okay, now I'm on top of the crease. So make sure you're on top of the crease because you want that on the bottom. And you just want to, whoops, let's see, can you see? You want to just pinch that together. I like to pinch it really hard all together. And then if you want it to look pretty, just tuck it under. And then the same thing for the other side. Pinch it together. Make sure it's really closed, otherwise you could have a whole bunch of gobs of cheese and stuff coming out. So that's why it's really important. If you want it to look pretty, it's gonna taste just as good. But I like it to look pretty also. Okay, I've got both sides under and I've got the seam on the bottom. So now I wanna feel it and squish it and make sure it feels the same thickness. And if it feels a little thicker, then press down and squish it all together like this. Okay, if I mess too much more with that, this is gonna break open. You can see it was as thin as you should get it. I could have left it a little bit thicker. Okay, this one, I'm actually gonna push and make sure it's even before I fold up the edges, because it is good to try to get all the air out as you're going. And the other one I did the opposite, so now I'll do the edges. Okay, sticky. The dough is actually much warmer right now. Before, it was much harder. Right now, this is going really smooth because it's very warmed up and pliable. That last one will probably be too warm if I had to bet, so I'm gonna do this quick. Okay, this one I did slightly thinner because it's for the Stromboli, and that is much easier to roll, and you will see why. Okay, this is baby Swiss, and I think it's best to put cheese on first, because then the cheese, I don't know, I feel like it can go into the dough and it makes it like a cheesy dough. Yeah, I think it's just better to do cheese. You could do any order you want, honestly. But I like to do the cheese on top of the dough first. That just worked out perfect. Whatever you like, you put it on. Now I'm gonna do a little turkey breast. Since this is my Stromboli, I am doing turkey breast, cheese, and Italian dry salami. And you would think a lot would be good, but actually, if you really like the bread part, too much cold cuts is not good. And this is slightly wet compared to everything else I've been putting on. So if it was too wet, I could dry it with a napkin. I don't think I have to dry it, although maybe I'll pat the one side dry once I get it on here. But I feel like when I put too much of the cold cuts, it is not as good. And it might be because then the bread is not as dominant. Something like that, maybe. Okay. My salami, I love the salami. That's my favorite. Turkey's only on there because it's healthy. Don't overlap. Again, I think when I overlap, that's when I do too much. When you roll it, you're gonna get some in everything. You tend to think the more the better, but don't. Do less, I'm telling you. Less is more. Make another whole dough if you want to use more stuff in it. Okay, there's my cold cuts. What else? Let's do a little bacon. Because everything is better with bacon. We recently went to South Beach to the Bacon Bitch. If anybody's been there, or if you haven't been there, oh my gosh, you need to go. It's amazing. We want to open up a Bacon Bitch. All right. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of Parmesan Reggiano on here. I normally don't because it's just, I try to be careful with all the salt, but I feel like I want it.
That's pretty good.
All right, so this is the difference between rolling the two. You still want to use all your fingers and get the corners. I think that is helpful. Get all those corners up. And don't think that you don't want to, don't try to make it to where it's not too sticky. See how it's annoying that it keeps sticking? But there's a usefulness for that. Not too sticky, not too dry. Okay, like that. This you really don't have to pull as much. But you do want to roll really tight. And if you feel like you need to pull just a little bit, then pull it back just to kind of keep everything where it's supposed to be. There, see it's kind of moving a little bit. All those pieces are moving, so I'm just going to pull a little bit to keep that layer. Roll. I'm going to pull a little bit now so that I don't have any. You want to have contact between this and this because that's what sticks. if you have a bunch of stuff right here, when I close it, it's not gonna stick closed. So that's where pull,
Pretty cool. You get along.
then go, and then make sure that that seam is on the
Does he actually
bottom.
do programming too, or does he just manage?
Push down really hard. Get it even. This one is slightly thicker. The dough is slightly thicker. I could tell just by working with it. Okay. And just seal the ends.
It's the treasure. Ah, got caught anyway. Download and solve the puzzles now.
Instead of putting your vibe in words, we're putting it in a store. Introducing Stitch Fix Freestyle, your personalized store.
All right, perfect.
Take your style. Passed away.
All right, I got all four
It's up to you.
rolled and ready. These two are my sausage breads. Yep, okay, I'm using water. You could use egg wash, the whites of an egg. I've done that before. That makes it look beautiful and golden brown. But honestly, I don't see any difference between wetting it with water. I can still get it to a beautiful golden brown. Every time I post one that looks beautiful, was not done with egg wash. I have not done egg wash in a long time. Okay, I'm gonna start with those two so it doesn't dry on me. The first one, I'm gonna do a little, whatever you like again on your bread, whatever kind of seasoning. That's the truffle parmesan and black powder. This one's gonna be the one that I like. I love this.
Do you think that's true?
Bread dip seasoning, parmesan blend. This stuff is the best. Garlic bread. I love it. My husband loves it, but it's not his favorite for the topping for this. So I'll do one with, one without. Okay, the other one, the other sausage bread, I will do a little bit of the truffle. Instead of the bread dip seasoning, I am going to use just regular Parmesan, grated Parmesan. Why am I going to use that? Because that's what I have in the house. And it's very fine, so it'll stick much better to the outside than the larger Parmesan Reggiano that I was using on the inside. Okay, and parsley, just because it makes it look pretty. So important to remember to do this. Okay, you want to press everything down. Start from the middle, go out. And then remember to do this, which puts air holes so it doesn't break open where it wants to. It releases right there through those holes. That makes a big difference. Okay, now I'm gonna do these two, which is the Strombolis. I'm wetting just the top and the sides. If you want that seasoning to stick to it, you gotta wet it. If you want that seasoning to be all over the very sides towards the bottom, wet it. Okay, and for these two, I am going to do a little bit of this. And a little bit of the truffle. a lot of Parmesan. Yeah. Everything that's falling down on the bottom there, I'm going to stick to the bottom of the loaves. And I will show you.
Everyone's favorite sci-fi comedy is back.
What's the name of your planet?
And the humans are so freaking excited.
Okay, so what I mean by that is now I'm going to roll.
Stream season 1 now.
I'm going to roll them to unstick them, but to also get those seasonings that are on the countertop stuck to the bottom.
We're all original recipes.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped to stuff with over a half pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one on Pizza Hut.
Okay, let's see how many I can fit on my one pizza stone. Can I fit all 4? I'm going to bet not. Okay, I just added a little more parsley to make them look pretty, and they're getting ready for the oven. Okay, 3 of the 4 fit. There we go. I left one Stromboli out because my guests said they favor Stromboli. That's gonna be delicious. Do the timer for 30 minutes. It's usually 30 to 35. So I'll check it in 30. I'll put the light on. So when people check, they don't have to bother. And I'll let this one sit here for the next round. All right, the first 3 are done. 2 sausage breads and a Stromboli. I'll take another one as we slice them up. Oh yeah, baby. Are you ready for them? Dad, ready for some sausage bread?
Yes.
All right. I've got one in the oven. This is what's left so far. We just started. And now my company is here. Hello.
Hello.
And so we're already eating. Lisa to the right, or maybe your left. In the middle, Noah and Leo and Bo. And Vincent was just peeking there. Oh yeah, baby. Hello. Nicholas. Everybody's eating. You coming for more?
Yeah, this one's just bread.
All right, come on. Help yourself. I could cut more. Cut like a pro, look at you. They're the worst to cut, aren't they? There you go, you know how to do it. Excellent. And look at Bo. Bo can't have any.
Yeah, we actually saw Spider-Man like 3
All right, that's it.
We did not like it.
That's all I did
I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
to get
Am I the only one in this family
this.
that hasn't seen it?
Yeah.
Me, Vincent, and Gramps saw it like a few days ago.
That is the
You should ask him about
Stromboli
it.
right there.
No, I don't want
The
to
layers of
spoilers.
Stromboli. Layers of mozzarella. Nicholas.
Hello.
All right, bye. Hope you enjoy.
You lost. What was it?
Ah, I had to show you one more because this one just came out of the oven.
That and
The
water.
cheese is still soft.
But it
That's the
broke in,
Stromboli.
so we didn't know that it was as big as it was.
The crust is amazing.
But it's added so much to his life. I didn't realize how good, bad he was feeling, you know?
Well, it's probably throwing his whole thing off, so that's why he was gaining the weight and all that.
Weight, yeah.
Hormones and all that were probably all.
It's getting less and less. They're trying to be nice. It will be devoured soon.